Okay, so we're gonna start halfway into this recipe because I already started it and I wasn't recording. So we're going to start with these meatball subs, and we'll make the sauce. And it's half cup of mayonnaise and a quarter cup of grainy mustard. So I'm using these measure-all cups. Some of you who know Pampered Chef well may be used to the old 2-cup one, which is a big one. This is the 1 cup and the quarter cup. So both really handy for this kind of thing. We're just gonna mix this together. And I've got, you can see on my board that I have some Monterey Jack cheese sliced. I have some fresh basil. If you're not used to using fresh basil, then let this be some encouragement to do that. All fresh herbs will take your dishes to a whole new level. Now this pan is a super popular one. It's the 10-inch non-stick frying pan. You notice there's no rivets. It's got a beautiful finish, easy to clean. The handle comes off, the whole thing goes in the oven. It's safe to 480 degrees in the oven, but it's perfect for your eggs, and you can use it as a baking dish as well. The small version, the 8-inch version of this also fits as a baking dish in the air fryer even. It's the pan that we use like day in and day out. Okay, so here's the fresh basil. I stored it in the fridge for several days in with the lettuce and found that that was one of the nicest ways to do it. So I'm going to just pull off some of these nice big beautiful leaves. If you grow it on your own, when the weather is appropriate, it's not here today, you will want to take the whole top. Once you grow 7 layers of leaves, you'll want to cut that whole piece of the stem off, and the whole plant will regrow a whole nother growth. So don't just take them off the top. There's a little tip for you. So then we're just going to put these all, kind of lay them against each other, and we're going to very gently, because this is a very tender herb, we're just going to slice it. And so we end up with these little strips, and we don't want to like bruise it any more than we need. So bruising makes it go all black and yucky looking, which we don't want. Okay, so this is going to be a little green on our subs instead of lettuce, and add a whole lot of flavor. Okay, so are these tender? They look like they are starting to caramelize. They look delicious. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the cooking on that, and then I'll show you what I did with the meatballs. So it's a very simple meatball recipe. So this recipe is from our Tastebuds program, and it features our rotisserie seasoning. And you can use turkey, but I used beef today, so ground beef. So I just skipped the additional little bit of oil, because turkey, if you use turkey, it's very, there's no oil in it. So it's really sticky to your hands and difficult to shape into meatballs. So you shape them into 12, and rather than frying them in a pan, what I did was I just put them on the rack in the air fryer, and I did 6 on a rack. So each one is about an ounce or just over. And then what I did was I inserted the thermometer. So the probe with the remote, you can see the remote, and it's plugged into the top of my thermometer, and on the top here. It's now gone to sleep. And so I can have the door shut, monitor the temperature, and stop it when they're to the temperature but not overcooked. So I cooked these well because it was ground beef. And so now we are going to assemble this. So these are ready to come off. They're still nice and juicy. So this was a pound of ground beef. Oops, that piece stuck. 2 teaspoons of the rotisserie seasoning, an egg, and a quarter cup of breadcrumbs. So very simple, basic meatball. All right, so these, I'll soak these. One of the questions I often get is how do you clean these racks? I did not spray this, which maybe I should have, but I'll just throw this in the sink with some hot soapy water. Just let it soak for a couple minutes, give it a good strong tap, knock all the stuff off, and then throw it in the dishwasher, and they clean up beautifully. So I've got a dozen here, and rather than subs, we're gonna do it on hamburger buns. And what we'll do is start with some of our sauce. And if we wanted, we could heat these. That'd be probably kind of nice. These were in the freezer, oh well. So we'll put some on the top and the bottom. And normally if it was a sub, you do them 3 wide, obviously. I'm going to do it like this. It would have been smarter to put the cheese on the bottom. There we go. There we have it. And then we'll put a few of these on top. See, it's already looking beautiful. So half of it, I don't know if you've heard the adage that we eat first with our eyes, and having lots of bright flavors, colors, and textures is very appealing. And so there we have it. Let me just check. Yep, yep, yep. And there we are. So there is dinner from the Tastebuds recipe box. Meatball subs today done on a brioche bun. Yum, with all of this yumminess. Bon appetit. I hope you make this recipe. If you have questions, of course, just ask. Thanks for hanging out in my kitchen with me today.